What's up, guys? Do you know? Do you know the one thing that can take your training to a completely different level? It is understanding that it is not the exercises that helps you achieve any outcome. Is the way you set up those exercises. The way you do a certain exercise or a certain workout has to be in line with the outcome that you're trying to achieve. That's what we are talking about today. We're talking about 4 different ways in which you can set up your exercises, set up your workouts based on 4 different outcomes. Whatever phase of training we are in, there will always be 4 different types of things that we are trying to do. One of which is we are always, at any given point of time, we are trying to learn new movements, we are trying to pick up on new skills, or trying to unlearn old patterns. A lot of our training is also focused on just putting on more quality muscle mass, which is your basic hypertrophy type of training or workouts. A lot of the times our focus is also always going to be on getting stronger, faster, more powerful, be it your sprints, plyometrics, anything that has to do with producing force. You have those sort of workouts, and then you have workouts or exercises where you are trying to build up your capacity to do more, capacity, your endurance, your stamina, your capacity to go for longer durations of times, whatever kind of movement it is. Increase your exercise capacity, your capacity to do more exercise. That's what we are trying to do in those workouts or in those types of exercises. So in a broad stroke, those are the 4 outcomes that we are trying to achieve at any given point of time. Alright, so whenever you're trying to learn a new movement, pick up on a new movement or a skill, or trying to unlearn an old pattern, the thing that has to take priority is repetition and the quality of those repetitions. Repetition is going to matter a lot because that is how you learn anything. If you think back to your early schooling days, when we were taught how to write in cursive, if you think about it, the teachers never really asked us to draw one big beautiful letter in a single page. We were asked to do multiple letters, lots of letters in every single line, lots of repetitions matter there as well, and training is no different. Whenever you're trying to pick up a new skill, repetitions are going to matter. That should take priority over, let's say, something like intensity or difficulty of a movement. If the intensity of the difficulty of the movement is going up, that's when your focus on the repetition and the quality of the repetition is going to go for a toss. So whenever you're trying to learn something new, focus on the repetition and the quality of repetition. Quality of repetition matters. What I like to do is I try to give certain cues. Like I'll try to give my client a checklist, like maybe 3 things that you need to focus on when you're doing a squat, or 3 things you need to focus on when you're doing a plank. And whenever you feel like you're going off balance, something is going off, that's when you start thinking about that checklist. Setting up cues for exercise is a great way to set up a movement standard which you can adhere to. That always helps. So give yourself a simple checklist for whatever it is you're doing, whatever exercise you've picked up. Or if you're training with the coach, ask your coach to give you 3 simple actionable cues that you can follow whenever you feel like you're not doing the exercise correctly. And you can always fall back on those cues, on those guidelines, to realign yourself, reposition yourself, and get to doing the exercise correctly. And in a while, after getting the number of reps and after putting in the work, you start to pick up the movement and it comes to you naturally. That's how you learn new movements. Then you've got hypertrophy style training, hypertrophy style of setting up exercises, where effort or how close to failure your training really matters a lot. Because whenever we're talking hypertrophy, we're talking muscle fibers. Those muscle units are what we are trying to hypertrophy, right? Does that make sense? So what you basically, whenever you're talking about hypertrophy, your basic focus, what you want to focus on is taking a muscle fiber, whatever muscle you're focusing on, and training it in a rep range that makes the muscle reach close to failure. You want that effort to be there. So let's say if you're doing a set of squats training legs, or let's say if you're doing a set of bench press or push-ups, you want to go up to a point where you can only do maybe 2 more reps, where you know that if I do 2 more reps, I'm going to fail. Those will be my last 2 reps. When you reach that sort of activation for any given muscle, that is when you start inducing hypertrophy. That is when you really start targeting growth in those muscles, if that makes sense. If you make growth or do not make growth, that's a different matter, that's a different issue. You have lots to think about there in terms of eating and whatnot. But in terms of training, that is how you set up hypertrophy style of training, of doing exercises, of doing any exercise. 3 into 10 reps, 3 into 12 reps, 3 sets of 15 reps, those are all arbitrary numbers. It depends. If you are reaching close to failure in those 15 reps, that's good, then you're on track. If you are reaching failure close to 10 reps, 8 reps, whatever reps are given, then it is correct. Otherwise, those numbers really do not matter at all. And this is how you can individualize the process for yourself. This is how you can customize the process for yourself. Say we are talking about work capacity. You're trying to build up capacity to do more work. That basically means that the time duration of the set is going to start to matter a lot. Easiest example is running. Long distance runners, what majority of their training is basically building up the capacity to do more, to run more. That's why they go, the priority for them is time spent on feet. That's why the priority for long distance runners in training always becomes the duration. So depending on whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever it is you're trying to build up capacity for, these workouts, these types of exercises are are going to be very dependent on the time duration. These are the sets when you, anything that has to do with you being able to give your best output for a really short span of time, that is when again the time duration really starts to matter a lot. In this case, the time duration that matters the most is the time duration of the rest breaks that you're taking in between sets. These sets of sprints, based on how tired it is you're feeling, because that is not in line, that is not aligned with the outcome that we are trying to achieve. The outcome being better ability to produce force. The outcome is not fighting off fatigue at all. So why are we gauging fatigue in this exercise, in between the sets? Whenever you're sprinting, whenever you're trying to produce force, that's a different kind of engine that the body is operating on. If the task demands that you go for really long durations of time at a really low intensity, your body is going to be powered by a different engine. If the task says that you need to go really hard, really fast, or really strong for just 1 or 2 reps or less than 5 or 6 seconds, let's say something like a squat 1 rep max or a deadlift 1 rep max or a max out 60-40 yard sprint, whenever it is something like that, that's powered by a different engine. Endurance based things powered by a different engine. Force, anything that has got to do with explosive sprints or lifting really heavy weights, those tasks are powered by a really different engine. And whenever you're doing things like that, whenever you're producing force at that high of an intensity, that high of a threshold, that is when you need to take longer breaks. So those are your 4 types of workouts. I guys about 4 different kinds of ways you can set up your exercises or training. You've got your workouts where you're trying to build up your capacity to fight off fatigue, or your work capacity to do more exercises. Those are your endurance or work capacity based workouts. That is when the duration of the set has to take priority, and the intensity, difficulty, and the complexity of the sets and reps of the exercises has to take a backseat. Whenever you are trying to build up ability to produce a lot of force, those are your force production type workouts, sprints, plyometrics, jumps, and whatnot. That is when you have to take long breaks in between sets, even if you do not feel fatigued. That is just what the mandate says. That is just what the protocol is. Whenever it is hypertrophy that you're trying to induce, you need to train close to failure. You need to take those sets close to failure. There are no magic numbers. All these numbers that you find online or get from somewhere are arbitrary. They will not make sense. You have to individualize the process for yourself, and you have to take those sets to failure. You have to do that movement until you reach failure for whatever muscle it is you're trying to hypertrophy. Then lastly, you've got your skill based workouts. Whenever you're trying to pick up on a new movement, unlearn some old patterns, or pick up new ways of moving, new patterns, new movement, new skills, that's when the movement, the repetitions, and the quality of those repetitions are going to matter. So you need to be very low on the complexity and low on the difficulty intensity. And that's why a lot of people say that whenever you're trying to learn how to deadlift or squat or bench press in the gym, the weight on the bar really doesn't matter. That's very true. If you start loading up the bar, if the difficulty and the intensity becomes the priority, then you are not going to learn that skill. Skill is very repetition based. Skill is very quality of repetition based. And quality of repetition and repetition can only be made a priority when you are keeping the task at hand less difficult, less intense, less complex. That's what you focus on. So those are your 4 different types of outcomes that at any given point of time you're going to be trying to achieve in training. And those are the 4 different ways in which you can set up these workouts. And this was just to give you guys a little bit more information so that you can stop relying on just one thing, and that is fatigue. That is how tired does a movement make you feel. It's not the exercises that is going to help you get anything, get any goal or result. How some videos or some posts might say that 5 exercises to build up speed, 5 exercises to be a better sprinter. No, 5 exercises by themselves do not really matter at all. It is how you set them up. You can do the same thing in 3 different ways and get 3 different outcomes. Running is the biggest example. Running by itself is not going to get you anything. It is how you set up those runs that really makes a difference. Alright, so I'm going to end the video here. I'll be back with another one soon. I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys.